I have a tattoo, that means I'm a hooligan who deals drugs, has no responsibility, when I have like a college degree.
Well, my mom's first initial thought of me getting tattoos was that I was going to be the devil child or a freak.
Some of them think I'm ridiculous for having a tattoo.
Open your eyes.
Well, I have both of my arms done, from my wrist to the top of my shoulders. I have my chest done, pretty much from shoulder to shoulder and to probably about the middle of my sternum. I've got pieces all kind of throughout my legs and all that fun stuff, so I would say a good chunk. But I mean, for tattoo-wise, about how many, I would probably have to say upwards of high 30s to low 40s, somewhere around there. I definitely feel like I'll be pretty covered, along with probably at least half to 3/4 of my whole generation. We're just going to be covered in tattoos, old and wrinkly, and I'm pretty excited. If there was one day that I wasn't tattooing or wasn't able to tattoo, job-wise, I would say it would be a little more limited, but at the same time, too, it wouldn't be as difficult as most people would think. I mean, as of right now, I could cover basically all of my tattoos up with a long-sleeve shirt if need be.
I have about 80 hours worth of tattoos. Around $2,500 is what I've spent so far on tattoos. For me, it's an investment, and art is why I like to spend so much money on tattoos. I definitely think I'll be getting tattooed for the rest of my life as long as my skin is willing to absorb the ink. I've been working with Hot Topic since July of 2007. When I started working at Hot Topic, I had an entire right sleeve done, and that is it.
Do you think being tattooed and having the style that you have helped you get a job there?
I believe it did in some way, because I truly represented the company's image that they want to put forth for their customers. But I think really it was just my workmanship. I really do think it's all that, not just based solely on my visible appearance. I definitely think Hot Topic would tend to hire somebody more that was dressed like me than somebody that was dressed in like a business suit per se, just because I know that I can attract the clients that they are trying to sell to. When people decide for their company that they don't want to hire somebody that has tattoos, I feel it is in their own personal preference as to who they are catering to and what customers they are trying to attract.
Technically, I guess 7 or 8, because this is all one big piece. I know I'd like to have my arms covered, possibly my back, maybe not the whole thing, just my shoulders. I want my hands tattooed, but I'm waiting until my arms are done to do my hands, because that's kind of the point of no return. My store manager is covered in tattoos. She has like sleeves, tattoo on the side of her neck.
Oh wow.
She has a chest piece. Another girl I work with has a chest piece and arms and everything, and huge 1-inch gauges. So they really don't care there. What you?
It sounds to me like you probably wouldn't go to an environment where they weren't okay with tattoos.
No.
So.
Which is most like corporate stuff anyway, and it's not something I'm interested in. I honestly think like business people that are like looking to hire someone, I think they look at that stigma just because it's still a stigma. They feel like they have to still follow a rule. Like they don't even question it anymore, even though it's not so taboo and people's grandmas have tattoos now. But like I think they feel almost like if they hire somebody with a tattoo that's visible, then people will be like, oh, why'd they do that? You know, why are they being different? So I think they're just following a rule like a blind sheep because they have to.
I have 2 tattoos. I don't really have a desire to get another tattoo, not for any particular reason, but I don't really have the desire, but I mean, you know, I never say never. When I was 18 years old, and really probably, yeah, when I graduated from high school and that, there weren't many young people with tattoos, mostly people that had been away to the service, or people that were in prison, or ex-cons, I guess I should say. You really weren't looked upon that good. You were some big motorcycle mama, and usually some, I'm sorry, but some big woman that, you know, was like, whew, you know, so you were pretty tough, I guess, for that, you know, matter.
I went to Forever 21, filled out an application. It was for management or whatever. But I went there, interviewed, went really well. I interviewed with the store manager. It was before the girl at Hot Topic was there. But she's like, oh, I think you'd be a really good candidate, yada, 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 so on and so forth. And then I never heard back from him. But I worked at St. Clair Square, so I always went there, went shopping. And then the store manager was like, hey, sorry about all that. And I was like, sorry about what? She's like, I really thought you'd probably be like the best person for the position, but I just didn't think you would want to cover up your tattoos all the time. And I was like, oh, I mean, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. And then she's like, oh, okay. She pretty much just told me that she didn't hire me because she thought I wouldn't want to cover them up.
I did have this guy who came into my work, and he talked to me for an hour. Actually, it was over an hour. It was Christmas Eve too, which was really ironic because what he was talking to me about was how I needed to find God and how God was telling him this, and that's why he approached me. I guess he thought I was pretty satanic because I'm modified, and I just thought that if there is a God and if God's telling you something, I'm pretty sure he's not telling you to be judgmental. I think the majority of society sticks that with the person having the tattoos being a bad person, which is complete bogus. Because, I mean, there are bad people with tattoos. There are bad people without tattoos. You can't judge a book by its cover. And it's just silly to me that people now think that it's such a wrong thing for someone to be so covered.
I think I've caught some dirty looks, mostly from like weird old people, but it's whatever, it's their generation. I really don't care. I didn't get it for you.
Right.
So, whatever. I like being a freak, so.
I have had one incident where a customer started kind of speaking negatively of my tattoos. It was an older gentleman who asked me where something was, and I helped him out. Showed him where it was, and then from there he proceeded to ask me about my tattoos, and so I explained them. He's like, oh, well, I had friends in the Army and all that who did that, and I just don't understand them. I just don't get the point of them. They're just horrible things on your body. And from there it just escalated, and he got a little more angry and frustrated, and so did I, so kind of just ended up with me just walking off and trying to cool off.
I had had a car wreck this year, and I was in the hospital, and I remember the doctor, I just got really angry because the doctor said to me, so, you're in a midlife crisis, huh? And I said, what? Well, I had my hair 2 different colors, and I had my belly button ring, and of course my tattoo, and he thought I just got him yesterday, I guess. And, you know, I've had him for 30 years, and I don't believe in midlife crisis or any other crisis for that matter. So I was very, very annoyed by that. I said, no, by the way, I've had those for years, and that's just me.
I've had enough old ladies ask me, what are you going to do when you're older? And I just say, if I live that long, I'm going to be a cool old lady with tattoos. And I'll join the millions of other old ladies that are going to have tattoos and caged ears and little punk rock grandkids. Like, that's me, so I don't care.
I definitely think as time progresses, people are going to be way more accepting of tattoos. It's become such a generational thing for my generation. We're all covered in tattoos, or we have some sort of tattoo, and that passion is there.
Well, you only live life once. I'm not going to spend my life thinking about when I'm going to be old and regret what I'm doing now, because you can't live your life with regrets. You just have to take each day for what it is and do what you want. You can't try to please everyone else.
Just try and be a little more open-minded. I mean, it's like tattoos aren't for sailors and whores anymore.